This is the Tesla Semi, a truck soon to be on the roads, driven by computers, by artificial intelligence. It's great news for the consumer and, sadly, the communists alike. I'll explain why and then flip the script over to liberty and explain the one thing that stands in the way of our lives being dominated by a small, tiny group of people. We've all seen what has taken place in Canada. And despite the despotic actions of the world's newest dictator, Justin Trudeau, who came out at his debutante ball of tyranny by busting up peaceful demonstrators of the Freedom Convoy, using his stormtroopers, who he had cover their faces after labeling the truckers fringe, racists, misogynists, and neo-Nazis. Despite this, the good news is the truckers still managed to exact change via their peaceful protests in Canada, effectively ending the mandates in some of the provinces. But why do you think that they were able to create the change? In part, certainly because they had economic leverage, and politicians know that if products aren't being delivered, that if the economy is suffering, prices rise, and out of the office, they get booted. Well, here's the reality. In short order, artificial intelligence being coded at the cutting-edge tech companies of the world, specifically Google and Tesla, will be able to put trucks on the road powered by AI that work 24 hours a day at a cost substantially less than whatever today's truckers charge, displacing them from their jobs. The good news is that means cheaper goods for consumers across the world. It also means that the leverage that these brave individuals had to catalyze change in Canada, poof, it disappears. They will no longer be able to block roads or honk a non-existent horn simply because it will no longer be economical for them to own their own truck. The power to stand up to the government, to direct a series of trucks to the center of Ottawa or Washington, D.C., will be in the hands of a few people at the top of the corporations that control the technology. In other words, the power will be centralized. The average person will not be able to affect change as they are today, as was demonstrated by the truckers in Canada. This means that what you are going to see is a bifurcation of society, or to put it more exactly, a small elite class that literally makes the decisions and is able to control the rest of us. The power will centralize into the hands of a small group of people that are able to keep us in lockdowns for however long they want. And if we object, if we dare poke our heads out of the hole or the metaverse that they have us ensconced in and speak a smidge too loudly, well, they can just take or freeze our bank accounts, as they've done in Canada. It's scary, but the first few rounds of this fight are literally going on at this very moment. Now, admittedly, what I've outlined here is a nightmare scenario where some undeserving elites like Justin Trudeau decide what is best for you, and your ability to protest it becomes non-existent. How do we defend ourselves? At this point, there is one thing that is defending liberty, and that is cryptocurrency, and more specifically, Bitcoin. The beauty of Bitcoin is that it is completely decentralized. No one controls the systems. And as the Canadians have shown the ability and the willingness to freeze or steal the money in your bank account, if you are on the side of wrongthink, it's going to be even worse when we move to a centralized digital coin, CDCs. is going to get even easier for them. The money will be run by the government, and one keystroke, they will be able to steal your entire life savings for, once again, wrongthink. Bitcoin is a store of wealth. It is a bearer asset, like cash or gold, that is readily accepted with no questions asked based on the ownership of it. And if you own your keys, in other words, you have the Bitcoin off of the exchanges like Coinbase or Kraken, it is almost impossible for the authorities to confiscate it, as they are doing right now to the Canuck bank accounts engaged in, once again, wrongthink, seriously 1984 Orwellian. Also, Bitcoin cannot be inflated away, as they are doing to your savings right now. Whatever you have in savings, the prices of the goods that you wish to purchase are rising, while your savings, that nominal number, remains the same. If you want to send money to the truckers, to the Ukrainians, or whomever else you desire, you get to bypass the government controls via the Bitcoin network. And thus, Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies are the pushback against the formation of the authoritarian communistic government that Trudeau and the radical left around the world and the Klaus Schwabs and the World Economic Forum dream of. That which China has come close to perfecting already. That comes much closer to consuming more of the world every day, especially with the advancements in artificial intelligence, which track us all via computer programs. Bitcoin is the pushback, is the light at the end of a dark tunnel that we all instinctively go to. I'm just making you aware of the rays and the darkness that is beginning to surround us. So educate yourself about Bitcoin. Buy some. There is a link in the description of this video. Stand up against the centralizing power that is enveloping the world and the communists that want to run your lives and decide what is best for you. Stand up for freedom. Thumb up this video. Share it with a friend, please. And subscribe. Hit the all notification bell. Have a fantastic day. Get some Bitcoin. Peace.